Growing up, I had dreams and aspirations, but always felt like the kid that didn't fit in. For the most part, I wasn't a bad kid, but when I made the transition into adulthood, I turned to the streets for guidance. This led to getting locked up in juvenile hall, doing time in CYA, and eventually a 120-month sentence in federal prison. I had a lot of time to think and reflect during my federal sentence, so I share with you what I learned, hoping I can positively influence someone else's life with Prison Talk.
What's up, everybody? Big Herc, fresh out. You're tuned into another episode of Prison Talk. Hey, if you haven't hit the subscribe button, you guys are missing out. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. And also, if you want to donate, hit the donation button. We appreciate all you guys' support. If you haven't checked out the website, please do so at freshoutseries.com and subscribe to the website. Also, if you have a question, shoot us an email at freshoutseries@gmail.com. We look forward to all your comments. If I don't get to your questions, don't feel offended. A lot of times I've already answered it. We're going to be at the Vans Warped Tour June 21st in Pomona. So if you guys are available, come check us out. We're going to have a tent there. We look forward to hearing from you guys and hopefully doing a meet and greet. Had a question from one of our viewers. Retirement after prison. Herc, I was shooting the shit with an old timer that's a friend of mine a while back who did some federal time in the 90s. He is at retirement age now and hasn't been in trouble for a long time. We were talking about all the money he missed out on making while he was locked up over some BS he did for a quick buck. He was telling me how now that he's looking at retirement from his normal job, how much he wished he wouldn't have missed those years he could have been putting money away for that. By the way, he worked a full-time job and got caught up on some stuff, gun stuff, after hours at his shop by the ATF. So my question is, what do guys do when they've been in the pen for 20 years, get out, get too old to hustle or work anymore? They haven't been saving for old age in prison, obviously. You're pretty much fucked, man. You know, after a certain amount of prison time, you actually do qualify for SSI. So a lot of guys get some type of social security or disability because they've just been, I forgot how many years it is, but you are considered some type of mental disability or incapacity or something to that degree. I'm not really positive on that, but I know, like, if you do a certain amount of time, there are benefits you can get from the government or from the state. But if you haven't saved, if you haven't put away some money, you weren't putting together some type of financial hustle while you were in prison, you're screwed, man. That's the thing about prison. Your most valuable commodity is not money, it's your time. And your time in there is just like your time on the street. You know, every day you're doing things, you're trying to make moves. Well, in prison, a lot of guys get into a rut where they're watching TV, you know, walking the yard, not really doing anything that's going to produce any money. And then the thing about the feds is you can't run a business while you're in prison. So if you want to do anything, you better hope you have somebody coming to visit you so that they can maneuver or make moves for you while you're locked up so that your money's making money for you. You know, if you got a good attorney, you still got money, you can pay him to come way the fuck out there to wherever you're being held at, and he'll put together some things for you, you know, set up maybe you know, some type of trust or something for you, for your family, and things can still be moving along. But a lot of times, the people that were rolling with you while you were out, you know, all those young females, all the homies, they done moved on, man. They done took whatever money they owed you and spent it. The women done took whatever assets you had and basically, you know, squandered them. You know, everybody's pretty much left you for the dirt, man. I mean, especially if you got, you know, 15, 20 years. You know, it's hard to get out and think that you're going to still have a lot of the things you had when you initially got locked up when you're doing that kind of time. I've seen guys in the halfway house, you know, that's been did 15, 20 years, man, and they're lost. They don't have a sense of what's going on in society because they weren't really keeping up with technology. because they weren't really reading those type of magazines or books in there. And even if you are, I mean, things are happening at such a rapid rate now. I mean, if you're gone 2 or 3 years, the world is changing, quickly. So as we proceed into the future, more and more people are actually being, they're being left behind. And if you're being left behind on the streets because you don't have resources, it's even worse if you're in prison. So yeah, getting into that old age and getting out, I mean, you better try to get you a pen pal, hopefully some older female that's gonna wanna let you come and stay with them, and you give them that old dick or something like that, and at least get a roof over your head. But retirement, there is no retirement from prison, man. If your investments ain't right, and you get out here and you got to start over at 60, 70, dude, it's rough. I mean, it's rough, man. And a lot of people really don't give a fuck, and your jobs are pretty much limited unless you're self-employed. So prison has no retirement. There is no 401k or any of that stuff, man. And the best you can do is maybe try to get some type of benefit from the Social Security office and keep it pushing. But yeah, that's the reality of it.
Lockdown's over. Get your yard time in. Exclusively at FreshOutSeries.com.